Excellent.
So we'll start the recording. Get my timer up. Okay. And as I said, I will just raise, whoever it is that's introduced you will be timing you. So Karen and I will take it in turns to introduce people.
Yeah.
Most of it, we have an idea about what you do. So if anybody else wants to decide to do a talk when they were thinking they didn't want to, but they might want to add a little bit in at the end, that's also fine. Just let us know. So we're going to start with lovely Gemma Price. She is my nutritionist. She's been in this group probably since the beginning and has kept me going, trying to help me with various diets and stuff and helping me get well. So it's been fabulous. So over to you, Gemma.
All right, yeah, thank you for the invite to do this. It's great. So I'm Gemma. I'm a nutritionist and I specialise in immune health and food reactivity. So I help adults with autoimmunity, histamine intolerance and other food sensitivities to understand what factors are triggering their symptoms. And then I work with them to support their bodies so that they can regain the joy of eating a varied diet without fear of the consequences. So like many of you, I understand the body as being made up of interdependent systems which all work together to keep us in good health. And how those systems work is influenced by our diet, our environment, our mood and emotions, our lifestyle, all of which interact with our genetic makeup. So for each person, the same symptoms could actually be caused by a host of different underlying factors. And so as a functional medicine practitioner, that is my job, to get to the bottom of what is going on. So to do this, I ask my clients to fill in a health questionnaire at the beginning, which is quite extensive, and a food diary before they come and see me. And then I spend a lot of the initial consultation taking a really in-depth health history, starting really from when you were born, or in some instances before you were born, when you were in utero, and looking at your mother's health, and then all up to where you are now, to then piece together a timeline, so an order of events that's led up to where you've got to. And that gives me a lot of information as to where you could likely do with some support. I might also suggest that you do some functional tests as well to pinpoint those imbalances a bit further, so really dig in and get the details on what's going on. And then together we'll work to create a plan which involves changes to your diet, potentially some of the things, your lifestyle, possibly some dietary supplements if necessary, and they'll support your body towards better health. Typically I work with my clients for a minimum of about 12 weeks because it takes time to make these changes and really embed them, and it means that we can just work on small things at a time. And then also, as well as these one-to-one consultations, I run a 6-week program at various points of the year which is focused on improving immune resilience, so supporting your body to fight off viruses, or if you're the other sort of side of the spectrum with autoimmunity, for example, helping calm down some of those overreactive immune responses. So that's sort of more of a group program, more general advice, but it's all very useful fundamentals. I've got a website which is intunenutrition.co.uk if you want any further information about that. And then just quickly, so that's sort of what I do, but just quickly, so you know a little bit more about me and why I do what I'm doing. So I was a scientist by training, and I struggled myself with IBS symptoms and food reactivity, histamine intolerance over the years. But the trigger to my sort of retraining and going into this therapy was that my youngest daughter was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when she was 2, and then celiac and hypothyroidism when she was 4. So I really used that scientific background to kind of really try and understand the why, and also so that's why I've gone into immune health, and I've got a wealth of experience of living with restrictive diets because that is our life in our house. So yeah, that's me.
That's great, Gemma. Thank you. That was really great. And obviously a lot of those issues you helped me with. So yay, lucky I found you. Over to you, Karen.
Right, so next, as we know, number 2 is Sue. So Sue, if you want to unmute yourself. And Sue does body talk and Reiki. She's in a healing group. So I believe Sue's talking about body talk. Is that right, Sue?
That's right. Yes, It is.
So
yes.
Over to you.
To me, okay. Well, hi everyone. Okay, so yes, I'm a budding body talk practitioner. Actually, I've done the course but just haven't done the exam, so I've been doing lots of the advanced ones as well, but then I've got to come back down to doing this sort of the basics. But what I want to share with you today is the benefits of the cortices technique. That's a technique that John Veldheim, who's the founder of Body Talk, has really his wish is that everybody should be able to do this and be able to do it on a regular basis, ideally once a day. Well, and if and when you need to, you can use it further, more than one time a day. So the benefits of the cortices, first of all, is to take the body out of fight and flight mode. So that's when you're in stress. So then effectively the body's designed to deal with stress on a very, very basic sort of, when it's needed. If there's a tiger coming, if there's something in danger, you can actually, everything else stops. Sort of all the eating, the digesting can stop whilst you're out of danger, while you get yourself out of danger. Now, if you are in that mode all the time, or a lot of the time, then parts of your bodies are not functioning as they should. So this will get you out of the fight and flight and help you relax and rest and digest, as they say. It improves brain function and mental clarity, so it's ideal for children, for if they're at school. And so there are some places where the teachers help the children do the cortices at the beginning of a class, and that is profound, actually, to sort of like, and they themselves love it. It improves communication between the left and the right hemispheres of the brain and increases the sense of relaxation and well-being. So this is fantastic. Helps body mind, basically everything within your body, you're sort of like inner knowing. It helps it manage and process the stress, as I was saying. So on to the actual technique. So what you do is just simply use 2 hands and your head. So what you do is you put one hand flat against the back of your head towards the nape of your neck. So we start in there, and then so that's kind of like what we're trying to do is we're trying to join both sides of the head to get to sort of like electromagnetically. So if we put that there and then tap the top of your head, and with your hand making sure that one hand's on one side, one finger's on one side, so that you touch both sides. So what you're doing is you're tapping the electromagnetic field. Okay. So that's
keep going. So we'll finish the technique.
Okay, then you do the heart. So you tap the heart. So that then has a lot of neurons at the heart, so that's what we call the heart brain, and then the abdomen. Okay, so with the other hand, touch where you were, and then sort of like so move forward, and then tap the top of your head, your heart, and your abdomen, and move on. So you're sort of again touching at the where you left off, and then again top of your head, heart, and abdomen. Moving on, one more time, well, no, 2 more times actually. Tap the head, the heart, and the abdomen, and then towards the brow, tap your head, and you can go over your hand, it's fine, because what you're doing is actually touching the field, the electromagnetic field that's around you, and then the abdomen. And lastly, then if you do both sides of the head so that you've got the full amount, so the full brain is connected, and then tap the top, the heart, and the abdomen, and then just put that back there. It's kind of like almost to seal the circuit sort of thing. So and that's that. If you do that on a regular basis every day, then you'll notice an improvement in your health.
Lovely, thank you, Sue.
Sorry it took longer.
That's all right, thank you, that was really helpful, thanks very much. Suzanne, you're muted.
Perhaps if I take myself off mute. I have the lovely Yvonne next. So Yvonne is going to talk to us. Are you going to talk to us about Arbonne or Reiki or?
Well, if it's okay, I just thought I would cover a little bit of everything that I do, just in a nutshell, as to why I do it, and maybe it might resonate with someone, if that's okay. So my name's Yvonne Hutchins, and my brand is Energy Within. For me, my journey started over 30 years ago as a spiritual healer, as I felt that there was something more out there. And I was still working full time at that point as cabin crew. So I really wanted to pursue the holistic side of things. So I went on to become a Reiki teacher over 15 years ago with Journey to the Heart and Soul. But my real passion kind of was realised when my mum was diagnosed with cancer and only given 2 weeks to live, and chemo at that point wasn't an option. So that kind of led me to the truth about cancer and Chris Walk, where I really learnt so much information about the holistic side of things and the approach. And at that point, I was also blessed to be part of the company which I've been affiliated to, that had launched their nutrition. So which at that point was quite incredible for me, because a lot of the things that they spoke about actually resonated with my company's brand. So anyway, went on to use a combination of the nutrition and the healing, and that allowed my mum to be with us for another 16 months. But she did actually leave us because she had an issue with her bloods. So it was her time to go home, but 16 months was a real blessing. So that just really showed me how important it is to fuel the mind, the body and the spirit. So I hadn't realised, with everything that had been happening too, that I also became poorly, and I had fibromyalgia. But now that I look at everything that's happened to me, it's really helped me with my journey with other people. So I've sat the chrysalis effect. I had to sit it twice because I couldn't remember it at all the first time round because of the fibromyalgia. And with that, I also went on to work with the access bars, as I found that to be really beneficial. So the last piece of the jigsaw puzzle for me was, for the last 11 years, I have been with Arbonne. My mum was actually the first Arbonne girl because she used some products that burnt her skin. And through kinesiology, she was tested and the Arbonne products were good to go. So that was great. But it really made me aware of what went into products. And so I was, like I say, made aware it's not just what we eat, it's what we absorb, even if it's through our skin. So I love that there is something out there for everyone at every age. I'm proud to say that they're recognised as a certified B Corporation, and its practices ensure that everyone is empowered to flourish with sustainable, healthy living. So that's me. I'm looking forward to getting to know everybody. Thank you for the opportunity, and I look forward to supporting your Energy Within.
Well done, Yvonne. Good timing.
Practiced.
On over to you, Karen.
Okay, so I'd like to introduce Christian, who is a sound therapist, and he actually does a slot on Serenity Radio. So I'd like to pass over to Christian.
Hello. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, my name's Christian. Thank you, Karen. It's great to be here. I do just need to make a quick correction there. I'm no longer on Serenity Radio.
All right.
At this time, but it's okay. I will mention briefly at the end, though, as well, a new thing that's about to launch in the very near future, just to let people know to look out for, and share it if they would as well, please. But yeah, my name is Christian, and as Karen said, I'm a sound therapist, Reiki, meditation and mindfulness practitioner as well. I'd like to just concentrate a little bit on the sound therapy side here, though, this time. Sound therapy for me, when I first discovered sound therapy, the experience that I had from it was absolutely phenomenal in helping me to really shift a lot of blockages and release a lot of emotions and so on as well. It's an amazing form of therapy, and the instruments that I use I have built up over many years, from didgeridoo to handpan, Native American flutes, Himalayan and crystal singing bowls and so on. So how sound therapy works is it really affects you on a level from mental, emotional, physical and spiritual level, and it can be from things as simple as just benefiting from really deep relaxation. So again, that comes to what Sue mentioned with your fight or flight, getting you out of the fight or flight response and getting you into the rest and digest kind of response. It also can be very transformational, right down to a cellular level. So the benefits of sound therapy are anything from, like I said, deep relaxation, reduction in anxiety, depression, stress reduction, helps to lower your blood pressure, and it can even lead to much deeper aspects, including now scientific evidence showing where you have been shown to be improvement in Alzheimer's and dementia, where it's actually shown through studies how the note low E has affected the memory recall of the patients and improved their memory recall. So there's some significant information out there on sound therapy. I host regular group sessions. I'm available for corporate well-being, school well-being, in a healthcare kind of setting, whether that be hospitals, care homes, etc. Healthcare settings, when I talk about those, they are now using Himalayan bowls, for example, in hospitals within Indonesia, which is absolutely phenomenal to see. So it's becoming very well known. And I do one-to-one sound therapy and Reiki as well. So if you'd like to get in touch for anything like that, or know anybody who would like to get in touch, then feel free to do so. At the moment, within the lockdown period, I am doing online sessions on a fortnightly basis, every other Sunday. The last one was last night. So that is 7:30 on a Sunday evening for the online sessions via Zoom. So that is me. That is Christian Jensen, Sound Journey by Christian.
Excellent. And that was good timing too. Thanks, Christian. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Over to you, Suzanne.
So next I'd like to introduce the lovely Cherry Emery. So I'll ask you to unmute. It should come up with a box that lets you. Yeah, perfect. So Cherry, I've known for a long time. She's helped me out of a few sticky situations, does past life regression, Seiki, Reiki teacher, amongst many other modalities you teach, and an exorcist. Over to you, Cherry.
Thank you. Well, good evening, everybody. Yes, as Suzanne said, I trained first of all in Reiki healing. I was a master and used to teach it. I started seeing angels. This is, 25 years ago. So I changed to becoming a Sukhim master, which works with etheric crystals and angels and forms of psychic surgery. So that's my modality of healing at the moment. I also teach it. I am a hypnotherapist and a psychotherapist, and I specialize in past life regressions. I did a training with Dolores Cannon, who you may or may not have heard of. She has written many books and was one of the most famous in the States because she regressed for the American government, people who said they'd been abducted by UFOs. And all the information written in her books has come from regressions, past life regressions. I have taken people back to, it could be 50 years ago, it could be Atlantis, it could be Lemuria, it's often other planets. I do soul rescue. Now, if I do a regression, then I would start with healing because many people, especially therapists, have attachments. And I'm well aware that if you don't have them removed, then I could regress one of those and not yourself. So, yes, I can't do that at the moment because of COVID. The other thing I do is house energy clearing, which could be anything from having a serious illness in the house to actually it being very badly haunted. And I clear houses anywhere around the world. I don't have to go there. I do it on paper from my home. So that's me in a nutshell. I am a soul rescuer. I tend to I've got about 40 rescuers on my books of soul rescuers who are born rescuers who pick up and have an off day and then have attachments actually stuck to them that they can't sort of shift by themselves. So I do soul rescue, I channel archangels, I do past life regressions, I teach healing. Anything else, Suzanne? That's about it, I think.
Yeah, that's good timing. But yeah, that's what I can. That's what I would tell people about you, and you've been a massive, great big help to me. I know there are a few people waiting to learn with you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cherry. Over to you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so next to speak is Greg, and Greg is an expert in leadership coaching. So handing over to Greg. Can you unmute yourself? I'll unmute you. Hang on. Let's unmute. Oh.
There we go, I've done it.
Oh, you've done it. Well done.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, I do one-to-one coaching, mainly in businesses at the moment, but it's not exclusively. And that's working in a normal sort of corporate sense around performance and leadership and that kind of language, but also with emotional intelligence, and with teams where it's about building trust and conflict, dealing with conflict and how to resolve conflict in positive ways and so forth. There's a bunch of all of that, but you know what? Going through the core of all of that is what my real interest is, which is to invite people and to take people on a journey of challenging the reality that they take to be real, and challenging and examining and exploring their own identity, even to the point of questioning the existence of one's identity. So the nature of reality, I have this title, which is Reality on the Rocks. It's like, what is real? Because when we really explore it and get to see that the extent to which it's fictional, to the extent to which we made it up or we've been told it and accepted it, we then have the choice and we have the ability to actually remold it and kind of recalibrate ourselves in a way which is more conscious. It's a way in which we can look and recognize our limitations, and it can be a lot of fun. I love working in groups in particular because the dynamic within a group is always phenomenal, because things that are relevant for people come out, and then what's relevant for one person is relevant for the group. And really, it's around that dynamic that I find my own inspiration or my own purpose. Trained in NLP and done work in a number of different areas, including counseling. But really, it's around that spiritual sense. And a guy called, I don't know if any of you are familiar with Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj, and he has a book which is I Am That, and that's a source of a lot of inspiration for me.
Okay, thank you, Greg. Thank you very much.
Good timing as well.
Yeah, good timing. Everyone's very good tonight. That's excellent. Thank you very much.
Greg, really interesting.
Yes, thank you, Greg. Over to you, Suzanne.
Next up, we've got Danielle. Danielle is going to come on and talk to us about the wonderful books that she's writing. Just something for your pleasure. Over to you, Danielle.
Yeah, I feel a bit out of place here with all the practitioners, but can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. I came to know Suzanne through Diane. Diane and I used to work together, and she introduced me to Suzanne, and I started attending the meditation groups on Sunday evenings, and then we've continued that through lockdown as well, which is just been so great to have. But I'm not a practitioner. I'm a writer. I write fiction, so I often deal with other realities, but in a good way. So I wrote this book. This is called Watermarked. It's a coming of age novel with supernatural elements, and it's followed by this book, which is called Landbound, and it's a continuation on that world. My writing has a lot to do with nature and elements and things like that. But thank you for letting me share. I write under Danielle Butler, DanielleButlerWriter.com, and that's about it. That's me.
That's great, Danielle. Thank you. And I know I do need to get around to reading your book. I know that a few of the ladies in our group were really waiting for your next book to come out. So well done. It's a very good skill.
Please, thirds on the way.
Oh, wow. Brilliant. Debbie will be happy. You need to let her know. Thank you, Danielle. Over to you, Karen.
Okay, so next up is Kay, who is a numerologist and Reiki master. She actually did a talk for us last week while me and Suzanne weren't around. So thank you very much, Kay, for doing that. So I pass over to you, Kay.
Thank you, Pam, and thank you for asking me to speak. So I'd start my 3 minutes by sharing my mission and purpose as I see it, which is to help people connect with their mission and purpose and help them better to connect with themselves. And it's about reconnecting to your inner truth, your wisdom, your love, compassion, and the beauty of who you are. It's treasures that each and every one of us possess, but we don't always recognize. We sometimes doubt and deny them. So it's really reconnecting with that. Now, I use Reiki, obviously, and have been a Reiki master teacher of both Karuna and Usui since the mid-90s. But during lockdown, that's kind of had to take a back burner. So I very much work one-to-one online now with looking at how people use their energy. So, for instance, how would you use sound? How would you use the potency of the words you use? Because we speak things into being, we manifest with words, and we can manifest how we feel and how we actually physically resonate with that. Then how do you use mindfulness? Do you use mindfulness? The awareness, being in the moment. And again, I help people with connecting to the senses, to use the physicality to give you the sense of mindfulness. How you wear color, how you are aware of color, what is next to your skin, the vibration of that. People who have and use crystals, rocks, and stones, what those things teach, how we read them, how we read their energy. And then, of course, the symbology of everyday life, the decoding of the daily experiences, when we go for our walks, when we have our interactions, when we have the issues that arise in the home or outside, what are they telling us and how can we unpick them and smooth them out and neutralize them? And of course, as already Pam's mentioned, numerology. So that's reading the energies of your date of birth and the name as it's written on your birth certificate, unlocking the hidden wisdom of what is given you by the fairies, if you will, at your birth, but sometimes not realized until a numerologist suggests certain options. Basically, I guess, bottom line, I could call myself a window cleaner because basically I clean the glass of perception. I clear your vision so you see yourself brighter and clearer and more loving and more beautiful and with a pure heart, a calm mind. And I, as a consciousness coach, will help you to raise your vibration and your frequency so you can reconnect with your own highest light. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, Kay. That was great. Thank you very much. And there's so much more to numerology than you realise, I think. So thank you very much for that. Over to you, Suzanne.
Thank you. Thank you, Kay. That was lovely. Over to Julia Woodham. Where are you? Finding you on my screen. Julia Woodham is an Ayurveda practitioner and also teaches yoga online, I believe. So over to you, Julia.
So hello everyone, my name is Julia Woodham and I run Yoga Horizons, and this offers 3 different ways for you to take control of your well-being. I believe that everyone can help themselves get well. So as Suzanne mentioned, one of my ways of helping people is via yoga therapy. So I do one-to-one sessions to help treat people who've got physical or mental issues, and I use yoga postures, breathing and meditation to help them. I also run group yoga classes, currently on Zoom, and Gemma has been to my group yoga class in the past that I ran at home. These are to help people improve their flexibility, strength and relaxation. And also once a week, I run a free meditation, short meditation to encourage people to get used to regular practice. So the second thing that I do is mindfulness. Again, I do this via one-to-one sessions, and it helps to people to lower their stress and helps them learn how to relax using a program of very specific meditations and various different solutions to improve their mental and emotional well-being. And the third thing I do is Ayurveda. Some of you might not have heard of Ayurveda before. It's an ancient holistic healing system, and it's a sister to yoga. It was developed at the same time as yoga, and they work together. I did an introduction on Ayurveda on this program previously, and have actually also treated some people from this group. So again, it's to treat various different health issues or even prevent health issues occurring. And it uses a modification of diet and lifestyle and medicinal herbs that are very specific to the individual. So with all of my treatments, like Gemma mentioned with hers, I take a very detailed medical and lifestyle analysis to understand and treat the root cause of the issue. So my degree was in physiology and biochemistry, and I also lecture in anatomy and physiology for a yoga teacher training course, and have recently also offered this on Zoom for wellbeing practitioners to help them improve their knowledge about how the body works. And again, members of this group have attended that. So you're very welcome to look at my website, yogahorizons.co.uk, or call me for any introductory discussion about what might suit you best to help you.
Thank you very much, Julia. Really interesting. I know that I saw, I think it was Sue posted up on the supporting therapist group on Facebook, how much she enjoyed your anatomy and physiology course. So
yeah.
Thank you very much. That's great, Sue. Okay, over to you, Karen.
Okay, so next up is Christine, and Christine is an astrologer, and she also does Bach remedies, and I've been lucky enough for her to recently in this group talk do my chart, which was fascinating, and I've always wanted my chart, so I was so chuffed. So I'll pass over to Christine.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all of you for welcoming me here into the group. Yes, astrology has been in my life since I was a child, as my mother was into astrology and so was her mother. So it's always fascinated me, and it really has become a passion that, you know, I can help people with your unique birth map, which is absolutely personal to you. And all you need to start the work is your date, your time, and your place. I know some people struggle with having the time of birth, but you can actually do quite a lot without it. Even an approximate time is fine. And for me, working with your birth chart is about self-realization. It is your framework for understanding yourself, to understand where you fit in the universe. And I think you can navigate your path, understand the cycles of the planets. I think most of us know about the cycles of the moon and often attune ourselves to the moon. But looking at your chart in more depth and having that explained to you, you can understand the greater cycles of the planets. And actually, when you're at your best, when you can start a new project, or actually sometimes we have times when we're not at our best, and actually it's best to step back. And probably a lot of you have heard of the dreaded Mercury Retrograde, which often is a time where we think, oh, everything's going wrong, it's all going to be bad. But it's, if you are starting a new business venture, it is quite wise to know these things, what's going on with the planets. Also, as I said, the moons, the full moon, the new moon, when are you at your best? When can you work? When can you really go with the cosmic flow and be at your best and have this kind of perfect timing throughout your life, really, that you can work with that and understand that. As we said at the beginning, I also use the Bach flower essences. I'm also a trained life coach, and the essences can be really helpful to help with emotional issues, especially at the moment. I've found a lot of people really do need them, just to help balance and kind of find a balance for themselves. And I also work with the tarot. I've used the tarot now for 25 years or more, And that can also be an amazing, I use the Mythic Tarot, I don't know if any of you are familiar with that, but it's all kind of Greek and Roman mythology and relates to astrology. That's why I love it. And that can be a wonderful kind of mirror on the soul, and again help you to understand what's working in your life, what's not working, and to help you make sense of where you are. And you know, as we all come across, there are times in life where, you know, this can be of great use. And I also teach astrology, and I am actually putting together an online course. So if anybody here is interested, if you get in touch, I'm going to have a small group of people, and we can really work with our own birth charts and kind of in 6 or 8 weeks get a good kind of basic of astrology. So do let me know, and thank you for letting me speak. Thanks.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Christine. Again, fantastic timing. So that's really, really helpful. We're running to time, and thank you for telling us all about astrology. It is really interesting, and I do think it helps people understand themselves and how they fit in. So thank you very much. Over to you, Suzanne.
Thank you, Christine. Really interesting. I loved your astrology talk as well. So I might have to revisit that because it was a lot of information, as was Kay's. I need to revisit that too. I was trying to listen to that when I was poorly. So next up, we've got Faye. Faye is going to talk to us today about divine healing and the tarot. Over to you, Faye.
Hello there. I feel a bit of a faker when I say I practice divine healing, because I've only been doing it for the last year. I've been doing tarot readings on and off since I was probably about 8 years old. But it's only the last year that I've really kind of found people that are similar to myself. So I'm going to do divine healing level 2 this year, and I'm going to do a soul contract reading course just because I'm kind of fascinated by it. Yeah, like I say, when I talk about this, I feel a little bit naive because I know a lot of you have worked in different sort of healing modalities and things like that for years. But it's been really amazing. The last 12 months, I've connected with a lot of other healers and light workers. And it's kind of helped me understand a huge part of myself, which in all honesty, I just thought was a bit weird for most of my life. I did a lot of things innately, things like, you know, understanding herbs and having candles lit and taking long baths and kind of downloading information and things. I just thought that was something a bit unusual. But yeah, here we are. So I've grown up as well, seeing sort of earthbound souls and incarnates. If people have attachments to them, I can feel them and I'm aware of them. And I sort of feel energy a lot. And Cherry gave a talk a few weeks ago about sending out your aura to connect with somebody else in a crowded room, and I just thought that was me being really charming and flirting, but I've sort of done that my whole life as well. So it's only in the last 12 months really I've realized, oh, this all makes a lot of sense. So that's nice. I see sort of spirits and things like that. There's been times when it's been terrifying. And as a result of that, sometimes you'd be quite energetically drained at work and people think you lack concentration or you're a little bit vague because you're kind of like staring at something else. But in short, yes, I feel a lot of energies and seem to be able to work with them, with divine healing and with tarot as well. It's not really about you, it's more just what's kind of coming through you. You're just in the middle of it. And that kind of brings us up to date, really. I'm finding all of the talks really fascinating, and a lot of what's being said by different people really resonates. I've got a very curious mind, so at the moment I'm just really trying to learn as much as possible. Kay's talk was amazing the other week as well on astrology and very attuned with the moon, as Christine was saying, and all of these things. So it's just really nice to have that peace of mind actually and kind of understand things a little bit more. What else? I'm probably running out of 3 minutes. I hate talking in public. Yeah, it's just thanks for letting me speak, really. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
That's great. Thanks, Faye. I've had both divine healing and tarot reading with Faye, and although she talks herself down for only being sort of out with it in the last year, it doesn't show at all. You're a natural. So I can definitely recommend Faye. So thank you, Faye. So over to you, Karen.
And I think I can say for everyone that we probably all felt out of place at some point, you know, because this area that we work in, we tend to feel out of place until we find our place, and this is our place. So, you know, you found your place early, because I don't think I found my place as early as you did. So okay, so up next is Gemma, and Gemma does Alexander technique, and I have the great fortune of shared a clinic with Gemma, and she's wonderful. So I'm going to pass over to Gemma.
Thank you. Thanks, Karen. I'm getting my notes. I had to get a light because it's so dark in here, I can't read them. I've been teaching what I suppose we'd now call embodied mindfulness for about 20 years. And my most significant training in that was the Alexander technique and yoga. And I also have a background in healing and other more spiritual side of well-being. And right now I'm teaching weekly classes and one-to-one sessions on Zoom, like everybody else. Thank God for Zoom. Rather than trying to explain what embodied mindfulness or the Alexander technique is, I thought really it's more useful to ask, why would you learn it? Why would you practice it? And really you'd practice it to feel good and to feel comfortable in your own body. This practice will bring sort of an effortless physical support, and I can't emphasize that enough. The ability to be able to support yourself with a relaxed muscular suit is a real gift, and you had it as a child. It's probably since been lost unless you've worked on yourself in some way. So, you know, that is what we're learning here. And it gives you the ability to spot the patterns of your body's behavior, you know, like unconscious clenching of jaws or unwanted muscular tension. So the aim is to create the most efficient and conscious body use possible. Improving an improved mind-body connection lets you hear the whispers of your body before they become the screams. Mostly when I see people, of course, the body is screaming because we all leave everything to the last minute. So the classes build in you this heightened and expanded awareness of self, not just a physical self, but on an emotional and mental layer as well. So improving your proprioception and your sensory feedback. So that conversation with the body just gets more clear as time goes on. So obviously I'm selling self-care and well-being to the converted. Here you all are, all doing it yourselves. And I think a better line for me to say, a better question would be, what's it good for? What's this practice good for? Well, it will benefit you. It will benefit anything which has occurred in your body due to your body's poor use. So how we use ourselves affects how we function. So a little bit of a list here: non-specific back pain, neck pain, sciatica, bursitis, RSI, general joint pain, breathing, vocal problems, habitual muscular tension, stiffness. And the people that I work with at the moment really, who use this technique to support them enhance their professional work, are professional singers, musicians, actors, yoga teachers, riding instructors, healers, you know, in all walks of life, but those in particular. So yeah, so thank you for listening. And if you wanted to join my weekly classes, it will be Wednesdays, 10 o'clock in the morning and 7:30 in the evening, and then £9 a class. And I also work one-to-one too. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gemma. That's great. Thank you. And Gemma did a talk for us as well a while back, which was fantastic. So I can definitely recommend Gemma. She says she's not a great talker, but she's so good. Thank you very much. And over to you, Suzanne.
Yeah, you are, Gem. You're a gem, of course. And I also work with Gemma in clinic when we're allowed to be in. So that's a privilege and a pleasure. So next I will be introducing the lovely Valerie. I couldn't find my words there. Valerie is our soul contract reader, so she's going to talk to you today about that. Over to you, Valerie.
Hiya, that's the plan. Hi, so my name is Valerie. I was really listening to Kay because a lot of what she was saying was really resonating with me. So I'm very curious to see the similarities of her numerology and the one I use. So the one I use is the soul contract reading. It's also called the spiritual numerology of Moses. It's all based on the sound of your birth name. And in ancient Hebrew, every symbol corresponds to a letter, that corresponds to a sound, that corresponds to a number. And what I do with a soul contract reading is I basically give you an overview of the map of your life, the physical one and the spiritual one. So the physical and the spiritual, they have three sub parts, if you wish. There's the karma, which obviously is the challenges that you face in your life. Your talents, so that's what you're really good at. And there's the goals as well, which is what you, after a while of experimenting with life and the challenge and your talents, you will find what you're good at, really. And all the numbers equal the soul destiny, which is why you chose this incarnation to be on planet Earth in this physical body. So the benefits of a soul contract reading are, there's many. So there's the birth reading, so that you get to know yourself better. There's the overlay reading, so that's your birth name plus your common name plus your family, so your parents, your children, your partners. And what I'm looking for there is a pattern to understand what has happened in previous incarnations and what is running through your family line. What else? Name optimization, because sometimes a soul contract is really tough on someone. So I also offer name optimization so that the overlay name helps the birth name to be less intense. And I do the same for business names. So optimize your business name to be in line with your birth name. And it can be the business name, the website, your email address, your pricing, and the title of your book, Danielle. Anything. So that's really, really wide. So it can be very personal, your birth chart, and it can be also applied to a business setting, really. So I think that's it, really. And it really helps as well target the healing that you need to mainly the karmic aspects of your chart. And the chart comes in the shape of a Star of David, which is actually quite nice to look at. That's it for me.
It is lovely. Thank you, Valerie. I've had my soul contract reading done with Valerie. We've also need to tweak a few bits of my name on my new page. We've found my new business name, and it's all been rather fabulous to be able to work with Valerie and work out what sits right with my mission. So that's been really, really interesting.
Just a little difference. I didn't find your business name. You found it and I confirmed it.
Okay, true. That is true. It came.
Think of Michelangelo. There's a piece of marble that you need to, to do the sculpture. So the sculpture is in there. You just need to uncover it. So that's what I do.
Well, you helped me do that. So that's fantastic. Thank you, Valerie.
Welcome.
Okay.
Thank you, Valerie. Okay. Next up is Suzanne.
Oh gosh.
And how can I introduce Suzanne? Well, Suzanne is a body talk practitioner I've known for many years. We've become very good friends, and she runs workshops and a course for soul growth amongst many other things. So I'll pass over to you, Suzanne.
Thank you very much. Suddenly very nervous now. It's my turn. I can talk about everybody else. So, yep, as Karen said, I'm a body talk practitioner. I teach Rahani, celestial healing, mindfulness, meditation, Reiki, workshops, amongst other things. The body talk, and I'm also a remedial massage therapist, a bit like physio. So I've done that for many, many years. And doing that, I found that things weren't shifting for people, and I had many issues of my own that weren't shifting through doing the remedial work. And I came across body talk. Now, body talk has become my passion. It is my teacher and how I view and live my life. There is quite a few body talk practitioners in this group, and equally as passionate. So it's about finding what makes you tick, your triggers, your belief systems, unraveling who you are, how you end up with all your physical issues and problems in your body. So working on a mental, emotional, physical and spiritual level, trying to work out how you got to where you are. It also is a way of helping people be present to what's going on in their life and how to move forward. So it becomes a kind of mixture of all sorts of things. I've recently rebranded to my new business name is Soul Frequencies, and I'm very passionate about helping people find who they are and to teach them to have their personal growth in line with their soul purpose. I run workshops. I've got a new one starting probably the end of February now, because it's all been put back because I've been poorly. So that is to really help you as a therapist or practitioner or somebody wanting to add skills to your toolbox to get in line with your purpose more. I work with the 12 Ascension Chakras that Diana Cooper channeled through to help you move into kind of a more of a fifth dimensional energy. We're moving through a transition through the ages of 3D to 5D. You've probably heard that thrown about quite a lot. We're moving into the age of Aquarius, which brings big changes, and big changes needed to happen in the world. And we need to learn how to live in nature again and be part of that and not separate from it. I think we've lost our way a little bit. So I'm very passionate about doing that for myself and learning that myself as well. I haven't got all the answers, and as I learn, I teach others. So I'm very passionate about helping others to really find who they are in my groups. Through meditation, mindfulness, techniques, we learn the issues in your tissues, learning really how you end up with your physical problems in your body, where they came from, your thoughts and emotions, and piecing it all together using your extra senses, going through, let's just let Tara in, sorry, going through using your subtle senses really. So each sense has its own intuitive aspect, and I work through channeling with guides, channeling healing. So when somebody comes to me to learn Rahani celestial healing, it's not just a one-day workshop and that's it. I do ongoing training for people, and that was in person. Now I'm doing that more online. So I know there's a few people here that have learned Rahani with me. Some are part of my group and some not at the moment. So that's an option for you guys that I'm doing online. So I think I've probably waffled on for quite long enough. So I'm looking for people who want to learn more about themselves. So my Facebook page is Soul Frequencies. It's attached to my Facebook page that's in my maiden name, because that worked better with my soul contract numbers. So if you look for Suzanne Jane Darbin, and then Soul Frequencies on my Facebook. If you can't find me, let me know and I'll send you an invite. Okay, thank you very much.
Lovely, thank you, Suzanne. That's brilliant. Thank you for summing up all the areas that you work in. And I mean, we've swapped therapies many times, and I thoroughly recommend what you do. It's always helped me. So thank you.
Thank you very much. So actually, I'm going to introduce Karen now.
Oh, am I next?
Oh no, sorry. No, look, actually it's Shawita next.
Oh, okay.
You've got a breather.
I've got a breather. Excellent. I'll mute myself.
So over to you, Shawita. We haven't had a chance to talk, so if you'd like to unmute yourself. That's it. And then you tell us all about you. Over to you. I can't hear you. Can everybody hear? No, Shuita, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect.
Yes. Sorry, I was teaching just before, hence I joined late, and it was on this. Forgot to change the option. I'm learning the ropes slowly now. Right. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Suzanne. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to speak. I am a yoga and Pilates and guided relaxation meditation teacher. Of course, I think like everyone, had to move over to Zoom last year, converted my living room into a studio. I just finished a class there. Pilates, I started teaching because of my own back when I was pregnant with my older son. And then the amount of people coming to me now with purely because of back issues is just like astounding how many people have that back pain. I'm staying on with Pilates. I've noticed so many people, of course, they keep coming back because they notice the difference. So Pilates definitely works that way. And then I think everyone knows yoga is the whole package. Spirituality, physical health, mental health, everything is there. And I teach mainly hatha yoga, hatha with a bit of a flow. So lots of focus on connecting with mind and body and not just the physical aspect. We take time to do some pranayama, the breathing exercises. We have some meditation as well. I am going to do a guided relaxation meditation workshop soon, which is called the Yoga Nidra, the yoga sleep. I don't know how many guys know about Yoga Nidra, but it's one of the most powerful techniques to relax and let go. It's it's actually proven that 3 hours of Yoga Nidra is 3 hours of 45 minutes of Yoga Nidra is equal to 3 hours of deep, intense sleep. I don't let anyone sleep. I guide everyone through a little journey. So I'm speaking constantly, but we're flowing through a little journey, and by the end of it, all the worries, all the stress is gone. You're in between where you're about to go to sleep and that deep sleep, that stage where you are completely relaxed and your mind is just vacant of all thoughts. So that's happening pretty soon. I'm going to do 7th of February, Sunday evening. It's just a 45-minute workshop. I teach 3 yoga classes, 2 Pilates. Everything is on Zoom. But I'm still very hands-on teacher. And I think that's why probably people keep coming back to me. I still correct everyone. You can probably see I've got my head up because I've got everyone displayed on my TV at the moment, so I can see everyone big. I teach under the name of Karma Yoga and Pilates. So from beginners to advanced, it's all there. I give loads of options. If anyone's interested in meditation, yoga, Pilates, I'm here. You can try a class for free if you like. And yes, hopefully I'll see some of you. I don't know if I've gone over the time. Sorry, Suzanne.
That's fine. That's great. That's good timing. Well done.
Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Thank you. So now I would like to introduce Karen, who is an NLP practitioner and an EFT coach. Again, like Karen said, we've swapped many times for years, and I really enjoy Karen's way of coaching, teaching, and her practice is great. So over to you, Karen.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So I guess I'd like to say sort of how I got into it. So I've been doing this for about 20 years, and I got into it because my son was a really very skilled judo player, but he wasn't really getting the wins in competition. And I went to see an sports NLP therapist, and I was lucky enough to sit in on it. And it blew me away. I thought, this is amazing. I have to do this. So I went and did a master practitioners and a trainer's course, like off each other, because I was so enjoyed it. And it just made sense to me. All of a sudden, things made sense. Like Faye was saying earlier, always felt I didn't quite fit in with certain things, but this made sense. Then I went on to do EFT and Reiki and hypnotherapy and lots of other stuff. And as all therapists do, we gather it all and use it. And what I like to do is use a blend of the modalities that I use individually with people. So it's very, bespoke to each person who comes. People will come and they'll say, if they see my website and they say, oh, I want EFT. But most people who come and say that don't even know what it is. So, I mean, I give EFT to everyone because it's a great tool to teach and give to people and use, and it gives everyone power back. I love tooling people up. That's my thing. Tool people up. The challenges will come, but you've got the tools, you become more resilient. But as I say, people don't really know what they're asking for. A lot of people just see my website and say, oh, yes, I want EFT. And I talk to them, I think, okay, yeah, EFT is good, but you also need this and this. And you just blend it, and it all works so well together because it's energy, it's frequency. You're raising people's vibration. You're giving them the skills to deal with life. So there's all sorts of stuff that I like to blend in. And I just love, like all of us, we love to help people. I think my mission with EFT was always to get the world to tap, and I hope most of you know what EFT is, so you understand what I'm talking about. But that was my mission, I think, when I first started EFT, is get the world to tap, because I think if the world taps, it will be a better place. It will sort out so many issues in the world right now, also raises your immune system. So, it's going to sort the world out. I love what I do, and I love helping people. I also have run workshops, and this weekend, in case anyone's interested, I'm actually doing a joint thing with another Christine Pitt, who does yoga. And so if anyone's interested, contact me. So it's a bit of EFT, relax everybody, and then she's doing sound therapy and a bit of yoga. So yeah, if you want to know more about it, contact me. My website is e-motionalsolutions.co.uk. So yeah, just contact me if you want to, or I think a lot of people got my contact details. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell, really. So thank you very much. And thank everyone for talking tonight. I don't know if we've got anyone else, or are we at the end, Suzanne?
We have. Tara's just managed to jump on from another meeting, which is fabulous. Okay. Thank you, Karen. That was great.
Thank you.
Obviously, I know all of that, and I still like listening to it. So thank you very much.
Welcome.
So over to you, lovely Tara.
Oh, hello everyone. I'm dying to see the recording because I've literally just jumped in there the last minute. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you all do. So I'll be really, really quick. I'm a reflexologist, Reiki healer, sound therapist, do my gong baths when we're out of lockdown. Please soon. I host and help run Susie Gigg's Psychic School online. And I also help host Wendy Lee, who is an inspirational law of attraction speaker that I noticed there. Tana, you would know her. So really this whole sort of lockdown, from being a very busy practice in Perford with my reflexology and my sound therapy, I'm suddenly on Zoom every single day, which is really, really weird, but enjoying it. So that is kind of I'm doing a real quick blah because I know it's right at the end. But yeah, if anyone ever wants to contact me, I'm Tara von Spreckelsen, and I'm in Perford. And Suzanne, you can always give my details if needed. But lovely to meet you all, and I'll be checking you all out later. Listening. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad you made it. It's lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I think we haven't missed anybody. Anyone else feeling compelled to talk that hasn't talked? No. Okay, so if anybody would like to ask one of our practitioners a question, or if you would like to give somebody a testimonial or something like that, just pop your hand up and I'll unmute you, or you can unmute yourselves if you've got a question. Gemma Price?
Yeah, I just had a quick question for Gemma, the other Gemma. I think that's right, isn't it? The Alexander technique. So I have been looking into the possibility that a tongue tie has caused a huge amount of knock-on effects in terms of, well, dental health is my main reason, but also sort of shoulder and back pain. And I was just interested in your thoughts as to whether or not there's a lot that you can do with the physical therapies to get over that without having to resort to surgery.
I don't know. I haven't. That hasn't come up before in my 20 years. What has come up is a lot of people that have a lot of muscular tension around here. So I would say that just the nature of it, the nature of making any speech more effortful is going to cause you problems in that whole area. But no, I would have to look into that, which I'm really happy to do and give you some pointers.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Would that be okay if I just do that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I will have, maybe we can hook up at some point and have a
I'll have a bit of, I'll do some research and I'll get back to you.
Thank you. That would be nice.
No problem.
Everybody's number is in our Soul Solutions WhatsApp group. So if you click on the top of it and scroll down, you can see everybody's kind of number and you can message each other if there's people you want to contact after this. So just message them separately. Anybody else? Any questions? Oh, Sharita.
Sorry, not much of a question. I've never spoken like this, so I forgot to mention. Another week, just for the month of January, there's a free trial. So if anyone wishes to try any of my classes, please feel free to let me know. It's again, Karma, Yoga and Pilates. You don't have to join the class, go to the website, read the reviews first, and then if you like, feel free to contact me. Thank you. Thank you, Suzanne.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I'm just going to say that's so funny because my question was going to be, what was the Karma Yoga thing again? So thank you. I'm going to check the website.
So I would like to just give a special shout out to my group of ladies who...
Christian wanted to say something.
Oh, sorry. All right.
Sorry, just very, very quickly, because I did realise I forgot myself to mention as well, but I never mentioned my website. So my website is www.soundjourneybychristian.co.uk. And also very quickly, I am part of a big wellbeing group that are about to launch what you would call Awakened Podcasts. So it's awakenedpodcast.com. There's about 25 of us now, which are looking to launch this new website on the 1st of February. And it'll be including my sound journeys, meditation and sound journey as part of the membership area, along with many other people doing yoga, Pilates, cookery shows, and all sorts of other general well-being tips and audios, and including my friend Amanda Joy, who does the Wednesday Wellbeing Show.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christian.
Thank you.
So yeah, just go on, Kay, you go next.
Sorry. Yes. If I may, can I just add my website, because I completely forgot and right at the end and totally forgot.
And actually, as we're all in the chat on the WhatsApp group, if you want to put your website addresses on there.
Can I do that? Oh, that'd be
fine. Usually I know I limit the amount of posts to make it so that the speaker who's coming up has the focus, and then afterwards it's questions for that person. But as it's all of us for today and tomorrow, then we can all just pop our websites on there if anyone missed.
Okay, I'll do that. And also just to mention, if anybody still wants to see and listen to the Energy of the Year talk, it's still on my YouTube, and it's now made public, so you can go and have a hear.
Thank you very much. I need to revisit that myself.
Thank you.
Danielle?
I was just going to say that talk was fascinating, Kay. It was so amazing. So you guys should listen to it if you didn't have a chance to.
Thank you, Danielle. Valerie, did you have something to say? No, I thought you saw your hand up. It was just stretching.
No, I did, and I was saying, yeah, that's great. We can put our contact details onto the WhatsApp group, so that's fine. I'm going to gather a lot of information from everyone else.
It's all in one place then, isn't it? Anyone else have anything that they want to ask or say? Okay, so there's a few of my healing group here: Sue, Valerie, Diane, Pam, Faye. Anyone else? I think that's, you're all here. And Helen is here. Helen also. So I talk about my healing ladies have been in a group together for a really long time. Some people I taught Rahani, and some Valerie and I learned to do the teachers course together. And while I've been poorly, they have had me on their healing list, diligently doing healing every day on everybody in our group or anyone that needs it, to send healing. So that's been amazing. And also Yvonne has sent me some healing too. So thank you very much, ladies, for keeping me going. A shout to Helen Holland, whose video's not on, she's hiding. Helen is also a fellow Body Talk practitioner of many years, and she has been checking in with me most days and literally keeping me going and helping me through the emotional, mental, physical soup of coming out the other side of COVID. And I've managed to stay out of hospital, and it's been amazing. So thank you, Helen. Hopefully you are still actually on the other side of your box that we can see. And I've really enjoyed attending Tara's classes that she hosts. Been really good fun. Nice to go and be a participant, because usually I'm always like, right, let's do this and I'll do that, and rather than actually just sitting and listening. So that's actually been a real pleasure. And Gemma Price for my nutrition advice over the last probably 9 months. Helping me adapt to things. So yeah, thank you very much for that. And thank you to all of you for coming. It's been interesting and lovely to hear all of you talk. We had a chat, Karen and I, just as a proposal. So we'll go back to the Monday nights every other week being somebody coming along and doing a talk. And then we thought once a month we might pop up a network meeting for all of you to come along, and sometimes we might have a topic just to make it a little bit different from an ordinary network meeting, like a topic, and see how each practitioner would maybe tackle that issue, so that we can have a proper kind of roundtable conversation with a lot of very experienced people to bring some light into the world and to help each other and really see how different things can make a difference for us all and in the world. That would be a paid event though, because it's an extra for Karen and I to manage, as this will always be free, the talks, because we've wanted to extend that sharing and caring for everybody. So this aspect will always be free. If we do the online networking, we need to set a day and a time for that still. It's very much an idea still. It would be £11 or a donation less than that. If you wanted to join in and come and advertise yourselves, that would be great. And if you just want to come along and listen without advertising your wares, then that's free. So it just means that we can have practitioners on advertising themselves, and then people coming along to kind of view what you're up to, because this is a kind of one-off. Normally you'd get a speaker every other week, and then for some people it's going to be a really long time until you get to actually present. So it just gives everybody an extra opportunity to come on and have a little say about what you're doing and provide a little bit of chat around some kind of topics and promote yourselves a bit more, actually. So rather than the usual kind of networking groups, have one for therapists and people interested in that aspect of life. So does anyone have any questions about that?
I think the nice thing about that is that everyone can learn from each other. You know, if we have a topic, everyone can learn from each other how people would handle it. And personally, I feel I learn from everybody. So, you know, it's really helpful, I think, for therapists to have this forum to be able to do that. I hope everyone agrees.
Yeah. I'll put something up about it in a few days' time once everyone's finished putting their websites up, and just play with the idea, really. It's just an idea. It just means that we can do this again on another date, just once a month, pop everybody up, everybody can come and share themselves and their experience and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a thought for you to think about and mull over. So on to my next thing, and very nearly the end of our lovely meeting, which has been great. In 2 weeks' time, on the, I believe that is the 8th of February, is that right, Karen?
8th, yeah.
We have the lovely Valerie coming along to talk to us about soul contract readings, which will be really exciting. So pop the date in your diaries. As usual, we will put the link up in the group on the day. Sometimes Karen's a bit more efficient than me and puts it up sooner, but then it can get buried underneath the chat. So it will always go up again on the day, just in case you missed that. It's lovely, all the support everybody gives each other. And we ask people to keep the talk to a minimum, just so that there is a focus on who's coming up, and then the focus is on the talk that's just happened. If you want to reach out to anybody else in the group, then just scroll through their names at the top, and you can find everyone's numbers, if everyone's happy for everybody to do that, and then message them kind of separately so that we can keep the thread just kind of on purpose, if that's all right. But I don't want to cut off a lifeline for anybody who's kind of looking for, you know, some ideas or some help or suggestions or stuff like that. I mean, I'm happy for people to message me separately and ask me questions, because, you know, that's why we're all doing this, really. So I think that's about it. Has anyone else got anything else to say?
No, just thank you, everyone. Thank you all for coming. Really, we both really appreciate it. The share.
Networking. Yeah, everybody enjoyed, have a little network for a change. Good. I'm forgetting you're all on mute and I can't hear any of you. It's like no one's answering.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. That's great. Really nice.
Thank you. It was wonderful. Thank you very much.
It's lovely to know a bit more about all of you, and we will see you again on the 8th of February. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thank you for organising. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Terry.
Thank you. Nice to see you looking so good.